Chapter 24. The black dragon twitched in his sleep as he felt his energy grow in the darkness. It had been this way for days and weeks. He hated waiting, but it was something that had to happen. If he was to gain the power desired, he would have to wait. "Check this out," said Children, slammed her thick tail against the ground. A rock shot into the air, and she slammed her tail against the side, sending the stone flying. The earth dragon's fire and earth bullet scored a direct hit. Bugs blown and shoved glistening crystal across the ground. "Not bad," a fire-breathing name. Jerry now with an expressed grin. He and his friends had been showing off the new techniques they had learned from the Eastern City Elders. "But Master first taught me this one." He stepped forward and inhaled deeply. With a thunderous roar, he spewed a raging stream of fire. Flames swirled and manifested in the dragon, and then roared back down at the group of young dragons. The youngsters all shrank back from the intense heat, but nodded their acknowledgement at the fire-breather's skills. Jared didn't have long to enjoy the praise of his fellow dragons before a gust of cold wind blew across the meadow, dispersing his flames and chilling the dragons to the bone. "Don't get too far ahead of yourself, burn boy." Froze, a young ice dragon singer, walked up between him and Sarah. "Feast your eyes on this." Everyone stepped back as the icy energy swirled around the young male, engulfing him, nearly making him invisible in the current of sleet and snow. The wind picked up, and the dragons all hid behind their wings. Then, as quickly as that appeared, the blizzard vanished. The dragons all poked their heads out from behind the cover to see Froze standing proudly before them. He walked over to Sarah and draped a wing around her playfully. "A gift for you, my dear." He extended his other wing towards the large ice edge of their dragoness. "That's sweet," Sarah raised her brow, in a rather creepy sort of way. Jared chuckled himself as he walked around the frozen statue, inspecting it. "I gotta hand it to you, buddy. You really pay a lot of attention to detail." He poked his hand around one of the looks with a devilish grin. "The name looks almost identical." Froze blushed, and a split-second later, Sarah blushed him, slapped him upside the head before throwing it with her nose in the air. Froze tried to go and smile at the way she deliberately swayed her hips and flicked hair from side to side. Before she disappeared into the trees, she glanced back over her shoulder and flashed the ice dragon a wink. Jerry gave his daydreaming friend a wake-up shove. "You said you been making progress with her." "Slowly but surely," Rose nodded. "Hey, mind if I go join you guys?" The dragons all looked over to see a black dragon about their age coming across the meadow or towards them. They all curved their lips in disgust. "Sorry, Lamb. We're just finishing up here," Jerry said, turning his back on the black dragon. Leon was a bit surprised by the fire-breather's attitude, but narrowed his eyes at him rather after a moment. "That's so bad for me. I was hoping to show you guys some of the moves that the elders taught me recently." "Who would want to see you spit stuff out of your face?" Sheriff sneered. "Even if we did, you wouldn't impress us. Everyone knows you're the most inexperienced in the class and therefore the weakest." Leon could feel his temper rising, but bit his tongue anyways. "Well, I still try and work just hard as you guys, if not more so." "Yeah, but what does it get you?" Sheriff shrugged and leered at the black dragon across the field. "You only get sympathy from the elders, not praise like the rest of us." "That's not true." Blaze now taking a step forward. "Mountain and Furnace congratulated me on being able to summon my dark line just the other day." "After how long?" Sheriff scoffed. "The rest of us have been able to use breath attack for some time now. So why are you taking forever and a day to catch up?" "Sure, that's enough." Brooke started, but the fire silenced him with an extended wing. "I don't know why the owls bother with you, Leon. I, for one, think they're wasting their time on you." He raised his head and looked around his group of dragons. We all know Master Friends was most likely humoring you just to make you think that you could become something great." "I will be great." Lee's now tears starting to swell up in his eyes. "I could be just as good as any of you. Even better if I try hard enough." "That's a joke." Jared laughed out loud and several of the others joined in. "The only thing great you are is a great nuisance. I won't be surprised if one day you turn out worse than Cinder." A roar of English ripped through the air as Leon charged towards the meadow and their launch was sharp. The fire-breather laughed and sidestepped Leon's claws as he swooshed past his face. The black dragon turned his fierce eyes on him and lashed out again. Jared ducked and rammed Leon in the chest, knocking him back in the grove of dragons who pushed him back into Shar. The fire dragon ducked his head and bucked Leon into the air. Leon's eyes widened as he plummeted back towards the ground. Shar smirked and bent his upper body down, kicking Leon in the ribs with his hind legs. The black dragon coughed and bounced across the ground. "See, you can't even match up to me." Gerald spotted a tuft of fire next to Leon, who stared at the flames with wide eyes filled with the shock of defeat. After gaining his nerve, he struggled to his feet and glared daggers at his opponent. Gerald shook his head. Don't even try it. You'll wash out. Leon took a step forward and fell to the ground. His ribs felt like they were on fire. Gerald laughed and turned back towards the city entrance, leaving Leon to stay where he was and weep in the late afternoon hours. Night flew across the land. Leon found himself trudging aimlessly across the eastern plains and the hills beyond the eastern city. His tears had long since dried up upon his dirty cheeks, and the wind did little to help the burning of his dried eyes. The night was pleasantly warm, but Leon was too depressed to enjoy it like he normally would have. At last he came to a small hill and sat down beneath the apple tree at the top of it. He felt odd sitting there, like someone else was sitting there or had been. He shook those thoughts out of his head and stared up at the starry sky. The weight of his heart seemed to anchor him deep in the earth. He had always tried hard and endured the teasing of the other dragons since he was little. But now that he was coming into his prime as a young male, he was beginning to think that they had changed their minds about him, not that he could use his breath attacks at will. Why me? He shouted to the heavens. Why am I the one who gets made fun of for trying the hardest? Huh? Tell me! The black dragon's voice echoed across the hills and quickly died off. Leon shook his head and looked down at the ground. An image of Char flashed in his mind and he bared his teeth furiously. Maybe if they want, I can become like Cinder. Then I show them what having power is. All at once, the sky began to grow a brilliant purple hue. Leon looked up to see a shower of shooting stars shoot over his head, each rock glowing in even more vibrant purple against the night sky. As he watched them soar overhead, the temperature in the air began to rise. Leon turned back around and his eyes widened. Okay, that one looks really big, he thought to himself as his light grew brighter. After a second, he realized what it was about to hit, and he jumped to his feet, but collapsed onto his haunches, his eyes burning from the earlier scuffle. The black dragon looked up to see the burning rock coming right for him. Leon took a deep breath and sprang into the air, ignoring the pain as he beat his wings hard. The falling stars smashed into the hill, obliterating it and sending up a cloud of dirt and sending Leon tumbling uncontrollably through the air. When the dust settled, Leon opened his eyes and coughed. Blood trickled from his nose and lips, and he was left with a gash on his forehead. His side throbbed and burning turned to a numbness. The black dragon moved to get to his feet and let out an agonized wail. He looked down to see two of his broken ribs sticking out from under his skin. He groaned and fought with all his might to stand. It took Neil an hour to get back on his feet, and when he did, he braced himself, making sure he wouldn't topple over. Step by step, he moved towards his curve where the rock was still smoldering. The earth was scorched to a tremendous crisp, and Leon found himself stepping more delicately than usual. At last he came to the impact site. Down in the crater, smoke was disappearing to reveal a large purple crystal. The stone was pulsing with energy, and somehow Leon found himself captivated by it. The longer he stared into the light, the more he became entranced by it. Slowly he stared down the steep slope and into the epicenter of the site. The glow intensified the closer he got to it. Wow, Leon muttered in awe, and suddenly a groan came from the crystal. Where am I? Leon jumped away and cringed as another wave of pain swept through his body. Inside the crystal, a cloud of dark magic appeared, and a pair of drowsy yellow eyes blinked themselves awake. Leon froze in terror as he fixated on him and narrowed. What are you? Leon gasped nervously and swallowed hard. The eyes blinked curiously on Dragon. Do you not know a dragon when you see one? I am the purple dragon of legend. So the roar echoed at the end of the voice's statement. You don't look like a dragon, Leon said. You look more like a rock to me. The eyes narrowed and the pupils turned to slits, but seemed to soften slightly as the baby came to understand the situation. I see. God angels have sealed me again. Sealed you? Leon stepped towards bravely. You mean they trapped you in there? Forever? Perhaps. The eyes seemed to nod and smile. Though if I had a body use, then I would be one step closer to being freed. I wish I could help you there, Leon shrugged, but I don't know where your body is. The black dragon cocked his head to the side and stared inquisitively at the yellow eyes. Say, how did you get trapped in there? Allow me to show you. The eyes narrowed and flashed, blinding Leon in the process. All of a sudden, he could see the world through the Dark Master's eyes. The training he had gone through, the battle he had lost that had sealed him away, his summoning of the apes to do his bidding and continuing the war with the dragons. The attack on the Dragon Temple and the manipulation of Cinder and Spyro before summoning the golems and the Destroyer. Then find the last account the Purple Dragon and Black Dragoness. When the defense finished rushing through Leon's mind, his eyes snapped open. It was daybreak when Leon looked around in surprise. He had been out all night, yet no one had come to look for him. The Black Dragon stared at the purple crystal and now stood silent before him. Hello? Leon carried the rug as he got to his feet, or called to the rug as he got to his feet. Much to his surprise, he didn't ache anymore. After looking himself over, he found himself to have completely healed. Leon's brows jumped and he looked back at the crystal. Is anyone there? Still no answer. Malphor? The Black Dragon rose after saying that name. How had he known the being's name? It's simple, the voice replied, and Leon jumped in surprise. You and I are now one. What? Where are you? Leon asked, looking around. I'm inside your body, young dragon. Malphor gave a slightly amused chuckle. I need a body, and you were willing to trust me not to let me reside within yours. Though much of me is broken and scared about. I don't understand. Leon looked down at his feet. How did you get inside me? Young dragon, I am a spirit, capable of traveling freely from one body to the next, though I would need a willing host to be able to survive. How was I willing to have you take up residence inside my body? Leon demanded. Malphor only laughed. Such a bold one you are. I am truly impressed. No one has ever spoken to me in such a way. But allow me to explain, Leon. Leon's legs locked up. How'd you know my name? Again the Dark Master laughed. While you were busy watching my memories, I took the time to sort through yours. I must say that it is indeed fate that we have crossed paths, my young dragon. Oh, really? Leon tilted his head suspiciously. I know of your desire for power, young dragon, and having been there once myself, I can show you the road to it. So what do you get out of it? Leon demanded, not at all amused by Dark Master's comments. So what do you get out of it? Leon demanded, not at all amused by Dark Master's comments. Ah, sharp mind you are. Then let me put it plain and simple. Help me acquire a new body, and I will let you be the one to rule this world. Leon pondered over the offer for a long time before speaking. I tell you what, how about you use my body instead to rule the world? You're already here, so you may as well stay. I don't want you backing out on our idea if you're telling the truth. Malphor was silent for a moment. You're even brighter than Cinder was at your age. I'm impressed. The devil smirked right across Leon's mouth. Why have two dragons rule when you can have both in one perfect form such as mine? I see your point. Malphor laughed, clearly humoring the dragon. Then we will have much work to do beforehand. I've got time, Leon sniggered. Then we must find my other parts, Malphor ordered. He took over Leon's consciousness and closed the young dragon's eyes. He felt his presence scattered across the lands. He sensed a being closing in to investigate and zeroed in on the surface. He could see himself surrounded by broken trees and branches in the destroyed forest. All around, beady yellow eyes glistened in the darkness. Slowly but surely the wolves emerged from the darkness and Malphor smiled subconsciously. I have our first target. I can't help but wonder if you were a little harsh on Leon the other day, Rose muttered as Charo and the other dragons practiced the breath attacks out in the field beyond the cave entrance in the city. What do you think about that Lucifer? Jared snorted, sending a puff of smoke from his nostrils. Well, it's been nearly a week since we last saw him, Rose pointed out. He hasn't shown up to the training sessions, and no one else has seen him. Do you think he ran away? If he did, he's just as much of a baby as I thought, Jared snickered. Then I can only imagine what that would make a weakling such as you. Every head turned to see Leon come towards him from across the field. Gerald narrowed his eyes as the black dragon strode confidently up to them before stopping several yards away. What are you doing here, Leon? Didn't I tell you not to bother us anymore? Or did you hit your head when I kicked your tail last time? Oh, that was pure luck, Leon snickered. I let you in. Oh, really? Gerald raised a brow. I'd love to see you back those brave words up. Gladly. Leon smirked and lunged for a shower. Once again, the firebreather sidestepped and Leon swung at it with his claws again. Josh ducked and moved to ram Leon in his chest, but this time Leon was ready for him. The black dragon struck the firebreather on top of his head with his paw before diving his knees into Char's muzzle. The other dragons gasped in surprise as the firebreather's head snapped back, blood spilling from his nostrils. Leon waited patiently for Char to get back on his feet. Lucky blow, he spent timidly. Oh, you think so, do you? Leon smirked brown and he charged again, slamming into Char hard enough to break the fire with his bones. Char rolled across the hard ground and glared at Leon through blurry eyes. His friends could only look on in horror as Leon tossed him around like a limp carcass until finally grown tired of being on the fire breath and hurling him into the air. Char! Rose shouted as he watched Leon walk towards his friend, who was crawling on his belly, trying to get away. The fire dragon's ribs were crushed, his wings broken as well as his hind legs, and his body was decorated with deep cuts from Leon's claws. You called me the weak one in the group, Leon growled as he placed a heavy paw down Charles' back, holding him in place. Now who's the one on the ground, trying to get away from the stronger one? It's not a very pleasant feeling, is it now? Leon, I'm sorry, Charles wheezed as he looked back over his shoulder with tears in his eyes. I did you wrong. I know that, but please, have mercy. Please forgive me. Leon stared down at him for a long moment before smiling. Well, I'm glad you realize I'm not as weak as you once said I am. And I suppose I should be forgiven considering our history together. John the other dragons released a deep sigh of relief. But forgiveness has never been a strong point of mine. Leon growled, near his eyes down at once again horrified Char. Maybe in the next lifetime. Char screamed as Leon bent down and gripped his neck in his jaws. The sound hurt their ears, and with a quick jerk and a sickening snap, Leon silenced fire breath once and for all. The others stood mortified and dumbstruck as their friend's body slumped to the ground in a bloody heap. Leon turned and smiled at the rest of them. Char, Rose staring stock, straining like a leaf in the wind. You killed him. How could you, Leon? Black Dragon smiled more. Would you like to find out? Rose shook his head as tears began streaming down his face. You bastard! I'll kill you! He opened his mouth and unleashed a blast of ice, with Leon's battle bow of dark lightning, burning the inside of the ice dragon's mouth. As far as withered and twitched on the ground, the other dragons growled and turned their hate-filled eyes on Leon. The dark dragon only laughed as the shadows around his feet began to dance wildly. Sarah walked briskly out of the dragon scene out to the mouth of the cave. The day was sunny and warm, which immediately put the dragons in a good mood. She hadn't been walking for too long when she sniffed the air and quicked her nose. What is that smell? She hissed in disgust.